Hi, I'm Nat. Welcome to Oasis Hub. This is the next in our series of short videos just talking about pre-pilates exercises. So the next exercise that we're going to explore today is a little exercise called Clams, which is used extensively in the movement world. And you can be referred to do this sort of exercise from your physio, from your chiropractor, from your PT, from your Pilates instructor. It's an exercise we all love. However, there's a way to do it right and we can overdo it. So the Clams muscle is looking at engaging your external rotating glutes, primarily your glute medius. So we do this exercise by lying on the floor. So I'm just going to put my arm under my head. If your shoulder isn't happy with that, you could always put a cushion under here, just making sure that the head is in this position and that it's not dropping onto the floor like this. So we're supporting the neck. We've got our shoulders, our bottom, and our heels all in one line. So the knees are bent. The heels are touching together. So I want you to really keep the heels together at all times while we go through our external rotation clams. So with our clams, we've got hips both on top of each other. And the idea as we open and close in our clam is not to have an enormous range of movement, because, you know, we could do this and that feels like we're opening far, but that's not the goal of the exercise. The goal is to engage our external rotating glutes. And the reason we do this is because a lot of us in this society with our sedentary lifestyle, glute med and our external rotation areas are just not connecting as well as they should, and we often end up with back pain or hip pain or bursitis, groin issues, a whole lot of different things. So because we're over engaging our hip flexors. So it's important as we go through our clams exercise. So what we're going to do is exhale to float the knee up towards the ceiling, making sure both hips are still in the same position. We haven't rocked the body backwards. So it may only be a very short range of movement for some people. Exhale to float the knee up, keeping the heels connected, and inhale to lower. And I want you to think, where are you actually feeling this exercise? I don't want to feel gripping or tension through the front of the thigh, which is quite often our go-to move when we start doing clams as an exercise. One of my ways of finding the right muscle area, so if you can feel your front hip bone, and we're going to come directly backwards towards the glute and lower down by probably an inch, or for some of us it might be 2 inches, and we're going to drop the hand into the outside of our glute muscle. So we're not right on the top of the hip, we've slid around to the bottom, but we're below the front hip level. So I'm about an inch down. And we're just touching the flats of your hands against that muscle there. So as you float your knee, I want you to start to really focus on that muscle under the flat of your fingers engaging. So it almost hardens like a little golf ball if you're doing it correctly. And this, for many of us, can take quite a bit of time to get right as we exhale to lift and inhale to lower. And these glute muscles are stability muscles, so they're for pelvic stability. They're not meant for endurance, so we don't need to do 20 or 50 or 100 of these clams exercises. We just need to do 8 or 10. So once you feel that connection of the glute, I just want you to know that you've got that correct, and we inhale to relax down. So once again, make sure you're not gripping through the front of the thigh like a crowbar trying to prise that hip open. We also don't want the entire glute to kick on, because some people, some of us are a bit prone to glute gripping, which can cause problems up through the pelvic floor with pelvic pain. We don't want the whole glute to lift. We just want this small little area at the back outer quadrant to lift and lower. So let's go 10 on each side there. Hope that helps. Thanks for joining me.